Bienvenue, Akwaba, Karibu, Hola, Bonjour, and of course, welcome to another episode of the Fountain of Ideas podcast, where we stretch the mind, we challenge assumptions, and ignite the power of thought. Today, we explore something that shapes us long before we understand it. Something so powerful that it builds nations, it sustains culture, it creates identity, yet we take it for granted every single day. Today we talk about the idea of language. Let me say this from the very beginning. Language is too deep, too wide, too intricate for us to fully cover in 20 minutes. But I promise you one thing, by the time you finish listening, you will never hear language the same again. I'll give you something profound to reflect on, something meaningful, and something transformative. Now, what really is language? Well, language is not just words, it's not grammar, it's not vocabulary. Language is not merely sound waves vibrating through the air. No. Language is actually the bridge between minds. It is defined as a set of spoken, written, or signed words, and the way we combine them to communicate meaning. Language is the tool which we organize thoughts, express emotion, transfer knowledge, build relationships, negotiate power, pass down culture, and preserve history. If culture is the soul of a people, then language is the tongue of the soul. Let's travel it back in time like I always do. The first recorded use of language was divine. Let there be light. God spoke and creation responded. Later, God brought living creatures to Adam, the first man, and scripture says, whatever Adam called each creature, that was its name. Meaning, language was humanity's first responsibility. Naming was also humanity's first act of leadership. Language and authority were born together. At that time, humanity spoke one language. We were unified. But at the Tower of Babel, I hope many of you know the Tower of Babel, the story of the Tower of Babel. Human pride actually rose up and God confused our language. People suddenly could not understand each other. Communication broke, unity broke, and humanity was scattered. That was the birth of linguistic diversity. In today's world, we have over 7,000 languages worldwide and more than, a number of indigenous languages in Ghana alone. So language did not emerge from classrooms. Language actually emerged from experience. Language grows out of life. It evolves from what people live through. For example, fishermen in Elmina have words, to describe waves and tides that people in Tamale probably have never experienced. Farmers also have vocabulary specific to crops and seasons that someone growing up not having any experience of farming in the slightest bit may not understand. Even today, language continues to evolve through experience. There's something right now called Gen Z language that we Gen Zs, we usually express ourselves in. And some examples are, for instance, when we say no cap, it means that we are speaking the truth. And if we say it's given, it means it's actually exactly right. And it aligns with the vibe, Soft life, it simply means living without stress, prioritizing peace. Well, people say Gen Z is destroying the English language, but no, I disagree. Gen Zs are actually reinventing it. Because language is dynamic. Language grows. Language shifts as experiences shift. The language of the 1960s or 70s or even 80s and 90s is different from the language today. Latin once ruled the world, and now it is virtually dead. It is virtually dead. And languages are also borrowed. Languages do not exist in silos. They are borrowed and they blend and merge with time. For instance, Ghanaian pidgin, when I say Charlie, I dey come make we vibe. It's a mixture of English, indigenous languages, and local creativity. Nigerian pidgin is even more diverse. Swahili, the most widely spoken language in East Africa, is a blend of Bantu, Arabic, and Persian influence. I'm guessing you didn't know that. So languages are not pure cosmetic inventions. They are historical mixtures shaped by trade, colonization, migration, and social interaction. There is a theory called linguistic relativity. It says that the language you speak shapes the way you think, meaning the structure of your language influences your worldview. For example, in Twi we say "Wo te sɛn," which literally means how does your body feel, implying health and emotional states. And also in English, our greetings often focus on time, good morning, good afternoon. But in other tribes or in other cultures, languages or greetings emphasize more of relationship and well-being. So language is not just what we speak, language is how we think also. There's been a debate recently around replacing English with indigenous languages in our schools here in Ghana. There was also controversy over greeting with Obake and Akwaba. All these reflect one thing: language is identity. But here's something important. Many young children in Ghana today, especially in cities, grow up hearing English as their first language. So in practical terms, English has become their mother tongue. Listen to it, mother tongue. It simply and practically means the first language heard from their mothers. Dr. Mensa Otabo said something deeply profound about this conversation. He said that there's a big debate about mother tongue now, and we don't read history. He said at a point Latin was the world language. Today Latin is dead. Languages die because they no longer have commercial power. Some Ghanaian languages will eventually die because they are not viable. The important thing is a language that helps you think clearly and exposes you to resources that expand your knowledge. English is not a foreign language in Ghana. It is our official language. We inherited a global language that grants us access to knowledge and influence. Quote and unquote. This is actually true, because today our laws are written in English. Our schools, our universities, for instance, they teach in English. International trade is also done in English. Science and technology are written in English. So when people say English is a foreign language, realistically, that is not true. It's no longer true. The goal is not English or local languages. The goal is English and local languages. We must not lose our roots, but we must not reject the wings that enable us to fly globally. It's very important. And there are people who also want to learn other languages. In fact, I, for instance, at a point in my life, I wanted to learn Spanish. And that is also very important. And so if you are learning a language, or you want to learn, or you desire to learn a language, you should know that you are actually not doing anything wrong. Learning a language is valuable. And there are several reasons why you should learn and value language. Because one, language increases your intelligence. Language also expands your worldview. And it connects you to more people. It unlocks opportunities. It preserves culture. It strengthens identity. I actually am much particular about how language unlocks opportunities. Because if you look at the late Kofi Annan, for instance, who was once UN Secretary General, his ability to speak multiple languages may have contributed immensely and massively to his rise to becoming UN Secretary General. And so I believe that learning languages is very, very, very important, as it unlocks opportunities as well as other benefits, as I've already mentioned. And there's a step-by-step process that each and everyone can use to guide them in the process of learning a language. The first is you need to hear it. And when you hear it, you repeat it. After hearing and repeating it, you associate words with experiences. The first step is to practice in real life. Whilst you practice, make sure you think in the language. And most importantly and above all, teach it to someone. And this is why children learn faster, because their learnings actually begin with experience. So if you ever thought that language was just sound, well, today I'm telling you that language is life. If you ever thought that language was grammar, today I'm telling you that language is identity. And if you ever thought that language was vocabulary, today I'm telling you that language is power. I challenge you today, speak with intention. Preserve your heritage. Learn another language. Use your words to build, not to destroy. The world wars that we've experienced in this world in the past were wars that were founded or initiated as a result of language. So your words or your language is very powerful. So do not use it to destroy, but rather use it to build. Think deeply about your language, because your language shapes your thoughts. Let me welcome you again. Akwaba, to understanding yourself more deeply. Bienvenue to growth. Welcome to consciousness, where we honor both where we come from and where we are going. This was the idea of language, and I believe that you've been enjoying episode after episode what we present to you here on the Fountain of Ideas podcast. Thank you for listening, and until next time, stay thoughtful, stay curious, and keep growing. My name is Anonoche Martin, and I am your host of the Fountain of Ideas podcast.